So, and the Gladiator on Arabia plays Malay. We've seen this before. This is a very specific game of Age of Empires. This game can be reframed to be, can you stop the Gladiator before the first elephants hit the field? So with Aztecs, we might see a good counter to this. A couple of good monks might be a real nice counter, but it's all going to be about speed. Can Lieutenant get to its build, whatever that build is going to be this game, before the Gladiator executes his fast elephant rush? So let's see. Unfortunately, Gladiator was meant to pick Magyard, so probably at a disadvantage there. We'll see what it makes of that. So we've got sheep on the outside there. Is this? I'm just looking around the outer edge. Was that deer I was seeing? Deer, yes. So we might see some deer pushing on some of this. I think Lieutenant will do that. We're seeing a bit of a clumsy rhino lure there, but it is there. It is safe to tell no one was hurt. Too badly, at least. We're seeing the goats come in. Where are the deer for Lieutenant? Quite far out. Oh no, okay, there they are. I was thinking they look like central deer. But they will be seen, I think, once the rhino gets pulled in. We can see some goats coming in at the bottom as well. So it looks like Lieutenant's done the scouting it needs to. Yeah, and he's going to find the deer. So Lieutenant should have a smooth build there, minus any kind of deliberate delaying. And Gladiator is indeed pushing its deer in. Interesting that Silver Tongue didn't do that. But yeah, this will be a real speedy build for Gladiator, which is nice. Pushing in the deer real early. Lieutenant doesn't deer push yet. Okay. Interesting on the word yet. Aims to improve the Lieutenant slightly before next tournament. But we are seeing rhinos being lured in, which, given the matches we've seen today, even pulling in the live rhinos has been a bit of a rarity. So this should mean much quicker builds for both sides. We've got mill on the bows, we've got the lumber camp already, really nice placed lumber camp for Lieutenant. And if we switch over to Gladiator, what have we got in terms of buildings for them? They've got a very forward lumber camp, and we've got a mill already as well. We've got the rhinos haven't been pulled in yet, but I think that may be deliberate. I think they've been scouted. I think it just saves them for later. Yeah, so one of them's definitely been scouted. The goats on the right have been missed, but that rhino will come through, so that will get pulled in. Again, slightly scary rhino lure there, but the rhino did go in without any casualties to villagers. We've already got a load of wood for Gladiator, so already going to have what it needs for feudal age buildings to age up. So it's a question now about whether it will get food in time. We've got another rhino on the bottom left, which may get pulled in once this rhino has gone below a certain amount of food. And it is spending its wood on farms. So, okay, so it's investing in having a more sustainable food income, which makes sense at this stage. It's not ready to click up. Gladiator as melee as well will have a faster age up time, so it can afford to spend more time in Dark Age and make sure. In fact, it probably needs to rely on actually having a couple more villagers before clicking up, because it will have a shorter window as it ages up to get the resources it needs to build the buildings for Castle Age. So we're probably going to see it click up shortly. 27 vills. That rhino still wasn't pulled in. That may slow it down a tad. We have got the farms being built, so I don't think it will slow it down too much. But we got the general, the lieutenant, not the general, the general's brother, with the resource it needs. He's got some goats coming through, which he may have nicked from Gladiator. Are those goats on the right of Gladiator? Yeah, they were stolen. So Lieutenant's got some extra goats there as well, so that's only going to hurt Gladiator more. But I think with that many farms and being on the berries, it will, with maybe a cheeky little market rule, be able to get to Castle Age without too much trouble. The Lieutenant's already ready, so once it clicks up, it will have the wood that it needs. Okay, so Lieutenant getting loom, that may delay it a bit too long. We've got the blacksmith, we've got the market, and we've got the rhino coming in. It's a little far from the TC, but food will come in. We have got feudal age being clicked up there by Lieutenant, but I think Loom bought Gladiator a fair bit of time. The food from the rhino should be coming in. And we got market rules. There we go. The stone has been sold. Food has been bought. I think these are the kind of rules that Serahana needed to just speed up that Imperial Age a little. Just a couple of market rules can make a big difference. It can save you a couple of minutes. Also helps if your eco goes a little wrong because of raids. And there we go, Castle Age. 90 seconds away. We've already got the first armor upgrade for stable coming in. We've got food coming in for at least one elephant. Probably two by the time this goes. Meanwhile, the Lieutenant is getting ready for Castle Age. It's got the market, it's got the blacksmith down. It has the resources. Just double checking, Lieutenant, does it have barracks? Or is it going for a... It does have barracks, okay. So it could train spears if needed. But it's going to train eagles. We've got the first elephant coming out. Gladiator's already at castle. The race is on. In the early stages, if you can get a quick switch to spears, or maybe get a monk out, you might be able to slow down the snowball effect. The elephants are attacking straight away. Gladiator is wasting no time. Attacking the lion first and then having a little pause. Gaia really playing an important part in this tournament. Number of villager kills already, number of military kills, and in this case as well, slowing down the attack slightly, buying the Lieutenant some time it needed to hit Castle Age. 5 Eagle Scouts. Do Eagle Scouts get a slight boost against cavalry? I don't think they do at that stage, do they? Or if they are, it's not having any effect, I can tell you that much. Pike is coming in though. Yeah, very nice. Along with the Eagle Warrior upgrade. Are we going to see, because we've got 2 upgrades happening at the moment, we're not seeing any more units being produced, so that has slowed the Lieutenant down, but as soon as Pikeman comes in, are we going to see spears? Yes, we are. Lieutenant needs to do this quickly. We're only having 1 pike. And they're going to be garrisoned. With 8 elephants on the field, you need more than 1 pike. The eco is going to get idled. Half of the Lieutenant's eco is idled, and I think the timer is up. Elephants are in the base, the eco is idled. We're going to see more elephants trot down shortly, and if they catch those villagers on the west side near the wood, or on the east side near the gold, then that's going to be all of the eco halted. TC fire gradually whittling down one of the elephants. We're still in a window where a couple of pikes would actually, again with the help of the TC and stuff, could whittle these down enough. They do a load of damage to those elephants. But the elephants are speeding up. We've got 2 stable elephant production happening now. So this is outpacing the Lieutenant, who's currently got idle eco on farms. That next elephant needs to go, and they need to get back on farms to get more pikes. And there it is. One of the elephants has got bored, so he's wandering off. It's really hard to control the elephants. They kind of do as they please. We have got another pike being there, and actually the TC is doing a fair bit of damage. We don't have any upgrades on like fletching yet, so that damage is just being caused by normal TC fire. But we got 20 difference. No food production now for Lieutenant. We have got a market, so we are seeing it trade resources. So it is buying food, but it's getting expensive. And it's training eagles. I don't know if eagles is the way to go. Villagers are off gold. We've got houses being destroyed. I like as well how Gladiator is just trickling in the elephants. So they're not all there in one go. Just enough to be a nuisance, and then when that's cleared up, you send the next batch. Gladiator doing tremendously well on Arabia, it seems. We're going to see this TC lose its villagers shortly. And there we go, we've got a little stampede. GG. He says, sadly, none of his AIs change off their hard-coded strategies. So I think Lieutenant was planning to go for Eagle Warrior Rush and was halted by the elephants. And it didn't steer course. But no, that was a good race to Castle Age. Congratulations to Vorik and Gladiator there. No need for fancy micro for elephant strats. No, and you can just go under the TC, which I think is really good. Like you can just fire and forget, and you'll do enough eco damage to warrant just keep trickling the elephants through. We are seeing all of Gladiator's wins actually have been on Arabia so far. No wins on Arena yet, so it'll be interesting to see if this changes it. I think Gladiator's been somewhat unlucky in some of the opponents it's been against. Sorry, it's Cuman's battering ram rush hasn't really took off yet, and we did see a good game against what's it, Definitive Edition AI as Portuguese. So it's got good builds. It's been against recently an aggressive feudal rusher, so kind of a bit of a counter to those strategies. But Lieutenant is kind of a more of the target opponent, I think, for this. Yeah, Starko Skautovic and Silver Tongue, his own opponent. Yeah, so fairly aggressive. And I think it was DEAI initially. Yeah, it was. There we go. And the DEAI just outboomed it as Portuguese, which is what the DEAI does. So we're going to see either Romans or Slavs for Lieutenant. We're going to see either humans or Portuguese for the Gladiator. So we're seeing Romans for Lieutenant. So a good steady all-round bonus for villagers. It's going to be helpful there. Good infantry, good scorpions, good cav. It's the Portuguese. Nice to see the strategy again. In the Prince of Arena tournament that was hosted by Randy, there was a really good game of Gladiator versus Immortal, where Gladiator used the Portuguese strategy and held off Immortal for quite a while. So giving it a good run for its money. Immortal eventually coming out victorious in that one, though. So let's see what we've got to start. We've got geese, and it's a deer map again, so no chickens on Arena this time. So these should get scouted. We will see Gladiator push deer. There we go. It's started already. So those villagers are being put to work. Hopefully we'll see both boar getting scouted by Gladiator to help it with its build. We've got first ball coming in from the Lieutenant already. Got a bit of a slightly longer distance goose on the left of the base there, but nothing that's going to hinder Lieutenant too much. And we've got some geese at the bottom that haven't been scouted yet. Maybe they'll come back later with the scout, but we'll see. Meanwhile, Gladiator should have a nice build here. We can see this is also the generation with 4 deer, which will be, again, a bit more of a boost compared to the previous set. Pretty close on res collected. We should expect to see a bit more of a boost from Gladiator, I think, because they'll get a bit of a bonus from the berries. They'll gather wood when they switch to that. Meanwhile, Romans are just a little bit quicker at everything. Their vills, I think it's a 5% bonus to everything. So you'll see initially Romans get ahead, and you should see the Portuguese catch up when they switch to berries. See, pretty steady at the moment, and that's probably just tying in with when deer are being pushed in or when boars are, because we've got no boars for Gladiator at the moment, but we got the first one in for Lieutenant. Lone goose to the east. Scout's a bit busy, but he may come back to it. Meanwhile, that poor goose to the west there has been left to rot. And the goose to the east has been found. It's wandering over. Neither AI's research loom yet. Normally, I think it's quite common for AIs to research loom when they can't click a villager, which can delay or affect resources collected by a fair bit. But neither are doing that. Lumber camp on the outside for Gladiator. Didn't want to feel trapped in the walls, I guess. Geese still not found for the Lieutenant. Just one tile short. That's unfortunate. Because I think once you find one of those geese, it'll have the line of sight to see the other. And we got the ball coming in there for Gladiator, so that will help it with its build. We shouldn't have an issue with wood for the buildings for Feudal Age because you'll get the extra wood from the berries. So expect it'll be a nice fast castle from Gladiator. The deer on the east have not been hunted yet. We've still got 2 geese. So the geese have been found. It was the lumber camp on the southwest there that found the Lieutenant its food. So no food has been missed overall, and the builds are still going fairly smoothly. We got some idle TC time that's been deliberately placed there by the Lieutenant, which is allowing the Gladiators to get a 1.5 villager lead so far. And Lieutenant's about to click up, so is Gladiator, so I think the next fill for each will do it. No, Gladiator's decided to hold for another. Okay, so Gladiator's going for 30 and above villagers, so it is indeed going for a fast imp, it seems. That's a little too many villagers for just a normal fast castle. There it is, 30 mils. Lieutenant also approaching 30. We're on 29 coming up. Deliberately held for a moment, and it is going for 30 as well. So actually, we're going to see good, strong economies from both by the time they hit Castle Age. And they both will hit Castle Age because Gladiator's already got the resources for it. It's already getting the wood from those berries. And we can see, it's got what it needs for the buildings. It's got the food, it's got the gold, and more so. So it will be ready to go towards Imp. But at least we'll see Castle. We'll also see from Lieutenant again, also going to be in a position to click Castle straight away. It's got the wood it needs for the buildings unless it over farms. And by the time that feudal clicks up there, we're going to have enough food and gold. So really nice builds from both. We got 2 vills being trained by the Gladiator between feudal and castle. Is it going to be 3 or is it going to be 2? He's holding off on that 3rd villager. He's just going for the 2. Oh no, he has clicked it. Okay, so he just waiting for the dot to come on. So 3 vills before clicking up. But he's ready to go up. There we are. So very much fast imp build we've got here. A bit of walking distance for that lumber camp on the east. So that is going to slow things down a little bit for those Castle Age buildings. I think it will still have enough for them, but perhaps we'll miss out on some excess wood it could sell. For extra gold or for building extra buildings. We've got the castle and the blacksmith already for the Lieutenant. It's a little behind in terms of that castle age, but it will click up as soon as those are built. So the question is this the end goal for Lieutenant, or is it also going for some weird fast imp here as Romans? I don't even know. Is there a fast imp build for Romans? Is it? Most of them need unique texts, or legionaries, for example. So this looks like it's just more of a strong, economical fast castle. Okay, so we've got Castle Age from Gladiator. It's already got the resources mostly to click imp, so it's going to get its buildings down. If we switch over to Gladiator, can we see what buildings it's got? We have a university and a monastery. Nice. And I think once that goes up, that next village should be what we need. There we go, Imperial Age. 18.5 minutes to click that. That's a really nice build. And while that's happening, it's going over to stone. I think we're going to see Feitorías from Portuguese with that. Meanwhile, we've got the Lieutenant about to hit Castle Age. We've got more than enough wood for the buildings it needs, but it's going for a town centre, a castle, and it's got loads of wood left over, so it's waiting for something. So we're seeing Centurions, I think, is what we're going there. We've got relics being picked up by the Gladiator. Prioritizing those. Not much competition from the Lieutenant unless the scout goes around prowling for monks. But I think we're going to see Centurions in a mo once that castle goes up. And there it is. Stone mining upgrade suggests that the Lieutenant is either... I was going to say more town centres, but actually it's got the resources for that already, so it might be saving up for a second castle for what it's going to go for there. It's not going for monks, so it's leaving those relics open for Gladiator to gather with its 3 monks. Have we got Feitorías yet for the Gladiator? We've got a castle instead, right at the back. So it won't do much protecting outside the walls, but it'll produce organ guns. Another relic swiped. And notice here how the Gladiator's economy has just stopped. We've got loads of houses built, we've got loads of population space, but we've got no villagers. So I do believe we'll see that Feitoria shortly, which will take up some of that population space instead. I think it's missing just a bit of golden wood. It's golden stone actually, isn't it, for Feitoria? So it is just gold, I think, that's missing. 300? There it is, I think it's built it there. Meanwhile, we've got Imperial Age for the Lieutenant. So it is catching up with that. We've got 1 Centurion. So it looks like maybe it detected Imperial Age from its opponent and rushed it rather than producing military. Those deer on the right were never hunted, so the hunt distance wasn't increased for long distance gathering. I don't think that's going to hurt the Lieutenant now. It's got a good villager movement speed, so it will help with gathering resources. Okay, if we look over to the Gladiator's base, I think that was the second Feitoria. There we go. We can see one that's built already. We've got another one being built. And this is what it's going for here. It's going to try and build as many as it can and take advantage of that resource trickle. And at the moment, it's got no opposition. The Lieutenant's holding off for a bit. It will ramp up, I think, as soon as it hits Imperial Age. We've got a second castle on the way. So it'll be able to produce Centurions from 2 buildings. Men at arms. So we are eventually going to go into teching into legionaries, it seems. But we've got, in the meantime, conscription, which will help with speeding up, but we've got no more Centurions being trained. So it does look like a complete tech switch, and you can see that with the barracks being built there. We've got long swordsmen and men-at-arms now being built. With the eco behind it, we've got 57 vills at the moment, but we do have 2 TCs. So we should see the eco eventually build up to support for the infantry build up. Depending on the placement of the organ guns, we may see them be a decent defense against infantry as long as they don't get through the gates. We've got an upgrade to the walls, so that will hold them for longer. We've got a 3rd TC for the Lieutenant. So that is going to initially eat up some of the food eco, but it will help in the long run. We've also got infantry upgrades for Gladiator. So Gladiator may also switch into infantry. We've got quite a few monks being produced. What's it looking like on the relic front? I think, has it got all 5 relics? It does indeed. So really nice eco for Gladiator. We've got loads of gold trickling in. We've got enough for a couple of castles. It doesn't seem to be doing anything with the stone, which is interesting. It's really lacking in food though. 2 villagers on food. But we have got chemistry. And we've got a lot of stone. So we might see a whole Russia bombard tower shortly. We did see that in the first game against Definitive Edition AI. But it is delayed slightly by these upgrades. We've got Trebs coming from the Lieutenants. Okay, but we have got a load of infantry. I don't think Gladiator researched Theocracy. So if those monks are grouped together and they get approached by a load of infantry, I don't think all the infantry get converted. Excuse me while I just have a quick sip of tea. Gladiator's buying stone? You've got 1400. You're buying more stone? And then you're selling stone. So, something for Warwick to keep an eye on there. Yeah, something seems odd in that it's buying and selling stone at different rates. So a building, does look like a building has been blocked. It is going into bombard cannons. Meanwhile, if we look into the Lieutenant's base, we've got the unique upgrade. I can't remember the name of it for Romans. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. But I will just mess it up. But that is going to give a aura to Centaurians, and it's going to give them a power attack along with that to any infantry they get. We're going to see more infantry upgrades. I'm sure we're going to see the legionary upgrade soon. We've got Bombard Tower finally coming in, and we should see that stone drop down as Bombard Towers get built. We're seeing... Oh, population space is lacking. That might be why the other Feitoria wasn't built. They're building more houses. We've got first Bombard Tower. Load of stone has been sold. But yes, just a note for Rorik on that one. It looked like there was a bit of an interesting market loop. And just seeing we got a new person in the chat there. Big Tasty Bacon AOE. Welcome. You should definitely give it a go. You may have missed the first couple of games, but we had some more like... I guess we had like a first-time AI, and we had AIs built for Age of Kings and Age of Conquerors as kind of, I guess, tests for the scripter. So you do see a bit of a range. But yeah, very, very easy to get into, and then I guess difficult to master. At least takes a fair bit of time. But Leif, who's been running this mainstream, has been maintaining a really good guide, which has done a lot of help for us in terms of being able to track all the changes that's been happening to the scripting language. So definitely there's a lot more resources than when we first started out. We've got Legionary being researched. We have Bombard Towers. There's a line of them at the front. I probably want them a bit more tightly packed, if I'm honest. I'm a bit worried that they're a bit too spread out. But maybe we'll see more. And yes, I find AI scripting easier than map scripting, but I get what you mean. It's AI scripting's easier, but not by much, I don't think. And we can see the attacks coming out here. This looks more like an obstacle course than anything at the moment. We've got more bombard towers being built. The villagers are going in to reinforce the towers. We've got bombard cannons on the outside. And halbs, very nice addition here. We've got hand cannoneers at the back as well. The legionaries are going to tear through the halberdiers, but how much damage are the bombard towers going to do? We can see the numbers from the lieutenant are dwindling a bit, perhaps lacking gold to replace those units. We've got trebs that are taking down the towers. We've got another Feitoria being built at the front. And the numbers are leveling out. And if these trebs can be taken down, hand cannoneer against the legionnaires is really nice. Gladiator's now decided to increase its town size. Now, I don't want to put any ideas in the lieutenant's head, but a trick that Bright Spark used to do against me and my friends when we used to play it was, if any of us were playing Portuguese, it would get redemption, and it would convert the Feitoria. So you've got a monk there, lieutenant. I don't know if Romans get redemption. I think it does. Just putting the idea out there. Be quite entertaining to see a converted Feitoria. But at the moment, the military numbers are standing. We've got another castle being built at the front. So that is going to keep the units at bay. We've got converted centurions taking on centurions. We've got theocracy coming from the gladiator. And with 10 monks, actually that will go quite far if they survive this counter attack. 10 seconds away. Not all the monks are there. Some of them are back at home. We've got more towers being built, and as soon as they get into the range of the towers, they are going to start getting picked off again. But they are massing numbers. The relic gold has been huge for Gladiator. That's really helped keep it in the game. $37 bills still for the Gladiator though. Absolutely appalling food eco all the way through this game. It's now getting fletching. Got more castles for the Lieutenant. It's getting ready to build more Centurions. We've got light cav being made as well. Gladiator's expanding more. We've got a couple more Faterias, which actually is helping. It's finally getting its pop sorted. It's on 39 villagers, but it's nearly pop capped because of the Faterias. So its army's kind of limited at this point. So we should see any final upgrades going through. Gold and stone, though, being good for Gladiator, whereas food and wood for Lieutenant is in the lead. So it's looking like the population's a bit in Lieutenant's favour, but also the Lieutenant's got 15 more pop space to use. And I think this is a crunch point. Those bombard towers are crucial for Gladiator to make up for the pop space that it doesn't have. Because at the moment the Lieutenant can just keep building the army. It's capped at 80 vil, so it is going to keep using that for military now. And you can see those Centurions are just wading in with all that extra bonus. The conversions are huge. Theocracy really coming in there to help get over 3 conversions. 5 conversions. These will keep them busy as well while the bombards keep picking off at the units. We got some behind the walls. But it does look like it's starting to go into the Lieutenant's favour. Particularly with the Trebs behind. The units are retreating. It is going to buy the Gladiator some time, but the Gladiator's not producing military that quickly. That Treb will go down. Or will it? Counter-attacks there from the bombard cannons against those Trebs are really nice. Keeping those towers alive. More organ guns, more conversions, more monks, more hand cannoneers, more halberdier. They're all good, fully upgraded units. It's just trickling them in though. Whereas I think the Lieutenant has can gain a bit more momentum with the units it has. It does need to keep the gold up. I think gold is its limiting factor at the moment. Losing those relics was has really hurt it, and that long distance gathering is not going to help. Maybe that's a win condition for Gladiator. If it can keep those villagers off gold, it's wasting the Lieutenant's food. It's stopping it from getting gold. Doesn't matter about the long distance mining of stone. Siege ram. Could be really handy against those bombard towers. At the moment, the Trebs are being a little fragile against those bombard cannons. It seems that the Gladiator is training more villagers now. I don't know what the trigger is. It did stop a while ago, and now it's suddenly decided to train them again. Building more bombard towers. It's good that it keeps replacing them. I think that is the thing that's keeping it in the game. Otherwise, that previous army, I think, would have breached the walls, or at least damaged the Praetorians. We've got Trebs going into the range of the bombard towers. Scary choice, but I think the units will keep them occupied. We've got Arquebus, I think it is, for Portuguese. So these cannons will now have the effect of ballistics, which will help us take down a couple more of these Centurions. The difference isn't huge. The bombard towers are doing their work. Conversions are helping as well, so I think Gladiator will still hold this off, and the Lieutenant retreats. The Gladiator is hoping here to just stop the Lieutenant from having resources. It's not on gold, you can see there's 2 on gold there. But the Lieutenant is switching into light cav. They're going more full on into that. Which will be good against the organ guns, it'll be good against Lennox and the bombards. But I think with ballistic cannons as well, I think the towers are still going to be an obstacle there. The rams are really going to need to come into play. But we're gathering them. We've got 3 rams, a 4th on its way. And with the extra melee armor they have now, they don't go down easily. They will take towers with them. So I think that buff will really help. We've got more halberdiers being trained for the Gladiator, which is, again, just nice at holding the Centurions in place more than anything so that the cannons can hit them. And look at the resource trickle on the top left-hand side there from the Praetorians. The towers needed ballistics for accuracy. Does the Arquebus tech work on bombard towers, or is it just hand cannoneers and bombard cannons? I don't think it affects bombard towers. Also, ballistics hasn't been researched. That may also be another factor into it. But still, the Lieutenant's army is going down. As soon as they get into that area, it is an advantage to Gladiator. The Rams have survived. The Rams are going back in. They don't have any units protecting them. But look at that melee armor doing its work. It's going to take a while for that halberdier to get there. Oh, but a few of them may do the trick. That and some cannon fire. I think that bombard will go down. Yes, it will. Pikeman for Lieutenant now, realizing that there's no gold left for him to take. Is going into full trash units. This might be what the Gladiator needs. Quality of the units go down. He just needs to make a ball of units itself now so it can just press across the map. Our AI is usually programmed for just one kind of map. It's a mix. You get some very specialist AIs, which are one map, one civ. We've had a few AIs that have been made in little competitions called script-offs, where we try and make an AI in 3 hours, or 2 hours in the most recent one we did. So they tend to be more specialist, whereas other AIs like the Lieutenant, the General, my AI Bright Spark, Immortal, and Barbarian, which was a famous one. There's quite a few of them which are more general. So I think a lot of older tournaments used to be on multiple maps. Modern ones tend to be on single maps more just to attract new entries. It's easier to make an AI for a single map. We can see a load of market rules firing on the left hand side. So we can see both Gladiator and Lieutenant there fighting over wood and gold to get that, but we can see loads of resources massed there by the Lieutenant. But yes, so this tournament, sorry, is on 2 maps just because it's a step towards multi-map tournaments again, but it's also 2 maps that people are pretty familiar with. I have a tournament coming up in November, which will take place over 9 maps, which will challenge more generalist AIs. And in between that, we have a tournament by Aleph on a map called Feng Crazy, which is it's a randomly generated map where all of the resources can also be randomly assigned, and that's meant to be a true test for real multi-map AIs. Can they adapt to any randomly generated map that gets produced? So depending on the length of this tournament, that may be happening in October. But we're seeing a push here from the Lieutenant. We've got things sped up a little bit. We're seeing the units retreat. And I think actually the retreating is the thing that's hurting the Rams. Actually, if they commit to taking down some of these towers, it may allow them to punch into the walls or at least take down a Feitoria. But at the moment, the towers are just getting more and more concentrated to the point where I don't think the Rams can take down the towers. It needs trebs. Oh, and I forgot to mention, yes, Leif mentioned there, GamesGod is also a widely generalized AI. Also plays random strategies to the point where the scripter doesn't necessarily know what he's going to do in the game, which is great fun. It's also got some fun micro as well. So yeah, definitely one worth checking out. Look, look at those bombard cannons. Leif, are you okay to zoom out for a bit to count how many bombard towers we have on the map? 51. Good. I know in some of T90's tournaments, I think for some of the diplomacy related ones, they used to make bombard towers take up 1 population space to stop bombard tower spam across the maps. Gladiator definitely needs this to function. It needs for them not to take up pop space. So lucky for him. We are seeing the military advantage slowly go in Gladiator's favour. Particularly as we get ranged units come out of here as well, we should see some of the Lieutenant's army go down without casualties. We've also got 9 bombard cannons here as well, so this should be enough to start taking down the castles. The halves are keeping things busy enough to try and damage the Rams. The Rams are pushing through because of that melee armor. There we go, 1 castle down, and I think this is the push. 52 military. The units are now constantly being produced as the population space gets replaced. The lieutenant's on trash units, so they're not going to hold much weight against hand cannoneers. Though the bombard towers are, bombard cannons are slightly distracted. There we go, no more targets, so they're needing the monks to convert those units. We should see some of these castles go down shortly. That halberdier gets converted. Again, feeling like an obstacle course at the moment. How many cannons can these halberdiers dodge? And the attack stopped. No, keep going, you're so close. Good Treb defense from the Lieutenant, taking out 2 bombard cannons there. 2 for 1. Those castles will go down though. Great conversions. Theocracy really coming into play there. And this, I think, spells the end for the Lieutenant. Great to see Gladiator's Portuguese strat kind of unfold. I think unfortunate that the Lieutenant was almost too prepared. It saw its opponent go Imperial, and so assumed it was perhaps on the back foot and being out-tanked, when actually committing to Castle Age and punishing the investment may have got Lieutenant the upper hand early on. But it's hard to check for with AIs. You have to almost play against this kind of strategy to then realise that you have to script for it. And that's really where these tournaments really help. You'll script something in isolation, you'll go into a tournament, and then you'll go against a million things that you haven't planned for. So we go back and make them better. Still loads of market rules firing for Gladiator. Really trying to keep that gold up. The relics were huge in keeping the trickle. And I do believe the Lieutenant does have resign rules as well. So when enough villagers go down, at the moment it's still got a villager lead. But when the villas go down, we should see a resign message, I think, when it starts falling behind. We are going to see hand cannoneers step into the farm range. What a mix of units. We may see more villager conversions as well, so we actually might see quite a peak of villagers for Gladiator. 40 vills might be the critical number for Lieutenant. Yeah, I think just got to go underneath Gladiator, hasn't it? Otherwise it thinks it'll think it's in the lead. I mean, Gladiator has the room to expand. It could be building bombard towers on the front line at this point. 86 bombard towers. Wow. I love that it's just trained 10 of a load of things. 10 hand cannoneers, 10 monks, 10 organ guns, 10 bombard cannons. That'll do. Interesting thing is bombard cannons will, as you've already seen, will auto-target most units around them, whereas Trebs tend to be a bit more focused towards buildings. But what that also means is against walls, they will take down every piece unless told otherwise. But they at least do so quickly. We're seeing more resources being sold to keep the gold up. Once this game finishes, Leif, I would like to see a final Bombard Tower count. Does Gladiator ever hit the 100 mark? GG. I don't think the units really are the story here. How far out can you zoom? 98! Ah, so close. Were there any being built? Wow. Gladiator had more bombard towers than it had units on the map. That's including military and villagers. 12,000 relic gold. Lieutenant consistently had higher military numbers. But that doesn't account for the towers. 106 conversions from Gladiator. Most of those being Centaurians, from what I could see. A really fun game. Congratulations to the Gladiator on that one. Condolences to Lieutenant. And I will say at this point, Leif, I'll probably have to call it there in terms of casting, just because I need to be ready for work tomorrow. But really fun 3 sets. I think we've got some great games ahead. If you do decide to stream the next one will be a corker, I think, because we've got Illuminati playing against Charon, I think, in the next game. And then we'll have General and Naga in the set after that, so the 2 top. Leif saying it feels like a satisfying end to the day, so we'll just update the bracket. Yeah, no problem. I'll stay here while you do that. But congratulations to the winners on that one.